Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Forspoken and Tanta We Trust spoilercast. Today I brought my friend Bridget.
Hi.
Here to talk about the biggest release of May.
Yeah, sure is, bud.
The
sure
Forspoken,
nothing else. Nothing else.
Nothing else of worth released. So we have this DLC that we have to discuss. I'm gonna do something really quick. Set a timer for 15 minutes. Okay, so that timer's running, and while that's running, we cannot talk about the post-credit scene in this DLC. We need to grasp at things that are not that.
We need to talk about literally anything else beforehand, because the single moment that discussion on the shifts to that, it's all we'll talk about.
So a very quick summary of the DLC for those who didn't watch either of the streams of it. In Forspoken, in Tanta We Trust, we touch a weird rock and travel back in time to when the Tantas were at war with the Redig, and we become a weapon of mass destruction when they put a weird bomb inside our character who is possessing a dead character. And then we have to stop the evil tree by breaking tree roots and teaming up with our mom, who does not know that we are her child possessing someone. And then we fight against a dude, and you defeat him, but then our character creates a time loop that explains how the main villain of Forspoken was born. That is a summation of the entire DLC, not counting post-credits.
So the immediate thing when the bomb subplot was revealed, that me and like the co-host of my stream were like thinking of was, you know that one episode where Squidward like gives SpongeBob a pie and doesn't realize that he might have given him a bomb? That was immediately what jumped into our heads. So I came into this assuming that this was going to be like a weird like little backstory DLC or something.
Same. I thought it was going to be all the cutscenes we saw in flashback, but now real, and I was going to kill myself.
Okay, the initial reason we assumed that this was like a weird like time travel thing was because, oh, they want a reason for Cuff to be here and say bad sarcastic lines, which was one of those not entirely wrong, not entirely right kind of assumptions.
See, the whole thing is I thought you were going to play as maybe one of the other Tantas, and they would probably pick the fire one so they could reuse a lot of their things. But thankfully, someone said not to worry. We'll have Frey travel back in time, but not have magic until the man injects her with magic that looks like all of her old abilities, but colored yellow.
It's literally... So, that's another thing. So you boot up this DLC the same way you would boot up, like, one of the character episodes in FF15, where you just, like... It's not like a thing you access in the main game. You go from the main menu to, like, the...
Yeah, they have their own
DLC.
They have their own specialized title screen and everything. Like those, it changes after you finish.
Yeah, and it's like in FF15, that was like, okay, that's like kind of cool because like in those DLCs you get very different gameplay styles.
Oh no, I realize what your point is. Oh shit.
And then I was like, oh, maybe they'll do something like this. Now you literally just get the same magic. It's like, why did you fucking take this away? Balancing, I guess?
If, you know, I had a lot of thoughts on what this DLC could be. Past characters converging, maybe some new enemies. But on my bingo card, I did not have, it's Forspoken, but 90 more minutes of it.
It's literally just...
This is maybe the least money I've seen in a downloadable content thing in a while. I don't play a lot of DLC campaigns, to be fair. But when this one amounted to... We're gonna give you so many fucking combat rooms.
I was not, like, I didn't really, like, I wasn't really actively thinking about this DLC before it dropped, so I didn't really, like, conceptualize, like, what it even would be. I didn't necessarily expect, yeah, it's literally just combat rooms with the same, like, 3 enemy types, basically, for about 90 minutes.
Yeah, it mostly amounts to every single enemy encounter in this game has 3 more waves than you would want or expect. Toward the end, I was like, oh great, another fucking set of reinforcements, as if this is gonna change anything. I'm playing on easy. If I was playing on normal, I wouldn't even finish.
I would have not. Yeah. I immediately set this shit to easy. I was like, I am not invested enough to to give myself any level of challenge here.
It has you fight this big animal thing with a bunch of mythical shit all over it. I think 3 times. First time you can't beat it, second time you can, then third time, well, we made it, so fight it again.
It's like, it's this thing they hype up. It's like, okay, you beat it, that's cool. And then they just reuse it, like, not even 30 fucking minutes later. It's like, Jesus, you guys had no money on it whatsoever.
You know, I now understand why you're charging $12.50 for this.
Yeah.
I'm like, you did, in fact, price this relatively appropriately.
Oh god, just the idea of it. There was so much more going on in the average like FF15 character DLC than this. This is kind of driving me nuts. I'm gonna be honest with you.
What? What's up?
Nothing about this game, like this DLC storyline, besides the SpongeBob-esque bomb subplot and the post-credit scene, is anything that I remember.
Oh no!
It left my brain.
Okay, let me try and claw through this. You start, and then they put you like in a prison, because that dude's like, you'll be a vessel, and you're like, what is that? And then your weird tattoo that is Susurrus sealed inside you after the events of the game, the main game, turns into the Game Boy Advance SP tribal tattoo, as you've been given this new power that is apparently fully derived from the sus stuff, because the Red Egg created the sus stuff as like their revenge against losing this war. So they're like, this dude will terrorize it. Then they kind of end by showing, they're like, look, it's the sus, and I'm like, that sure is the sus, man. That's the guy.
It sure fucking is.
Let me see other story-related things. Oh no.
Yeah.
That dude's evil. The plot is kind of like the Tree of Might for the Dragon Ball movie.
There's like, what is like masquerading as an arc between Frey and her mom, where her mom tries
that's
to kill
the part
her.
that broke my brain, Bridget.
What?
This is formatted exactly like episode Gladiolus from Final Fantasy 15.
Yes.
You do a bunch of combat rooms, then you sit at a camp, and then they have the forced dialogue conversation. But this time it's double, because they're also your cuff wants to talk.
Oh, your cuff wants to talk and like discuss the situation with you. Here's the thing too, at least in episode Gladiolus, this happened multiple times, and I felt like I got any insight into Core at all. It happens like once or twice in this, and I don't think it added anything to Frey's mom as a character.
Oh yeah, you get absolutely nothing out of her. All of the good value comes from Sus. Because it's always just him going, yeah, we're pretty good. We deserve to win. And I'm like, dude, I'm always rooting for you guys, honestly. They made a set of protagonists so fucking terrible that I'm like, villains really need to just fucking win. Real bad.
Yeah, there's... You would imagine, you would assume that the idea of pairing Frey up with her mom is to give Frey, like, any semblance of extra depth whatsoever. It does nothing for her character.
I mean, there's been a lot of media where you travel back, but the person doesn't know it's you. Like, Avengers 4 did that.
Yeah.
Like Tony Stark has a moment like that, and it's handled with the, you know, you have this moment that you can reunite with them. And at this moment, I'm trying to remember whether or not her mother's dead in the normal timeline. I do not remember.
So.
I know she was a dragon.
Yeah, she was a dragon.
And then we team up, and we learned the twist is that she was attacking us in the main game because we had the cuff on us. But I do not remember if she died or not. I think I asked this question while playing this DLC also.
I'm like struggling. Like, did that dragon fucking die? I don't think you see it in the like post-credit scene at all, so I assume it's fucking dead, but I'm not sure.
You know what? Sure. I feel like if her mother was dead, there should have been a bit more stuff going on where she's like, this is my one chance to talk to her again. I'd like to, you know, go a little further with this. But there isn't really any of that. If you're mainlining, there's nothing. Maybe I missed the secrets.
God, maybe it's one of those fucking. I forgot to read the archive system. I'm gonna be honest. I just kind of blanked on that.
The what?
The archive stuff.
I made sure to read a bunch of those because I'm like, I gotta do it. And just them going, we've done it. We've created a weapon of mass destruction. And I was like, I'm gonna kill you. I swear to God, this writing's so bad.
The writing is so just terrible.
I checked credits. Not a single one of the high-profile names was attached to this. It was once again the writers I researched that are clearly the real writers. Gary Whitta and Amy Hennig name were not anywhere in the credits.
That does not shock me. It's just whenever we're not getting like a classic fucking Forspoken dialogue moment, which honestly, like, there weren't even that many in this DLC. There were a couple of really bad lines in there, but not even nearly as like frequent as the main game. It's just I never feel like there is literally anything in both this DLC or the main game to like emotionally attach to it. It's all like just very insubstantial and I don't know, just fucking bad, dude. It just sucks.
It was really rough. I had Alto alongside me during it because they thought it would be funny if the only thing they saw of Forspoken was the DLC of it. So they were there with me through that. And throughout, we were kind of going, and I was talking about how the main game's soundtrack's bad and unmemorable and very generic, which was weird to me because Bear McCreary is the composer of film stuff as well as the two new God of Wars. And the composer for BioShock was also on this. And I'm like, how do you not bring something? But we were playing the DLC, and I was like, some of these tracks are pretty good. Like, they really improved. And then I hit the credits and almost fucking pass out. Guest composer, Motoi Sakuraba.
Motoi Sakuraba, the quiet quitter himself, baby.
Dude, you gotta be fucking kidding me. They're doing the same shit with 15. Guest composers per DLC. Because they did that for 15 for each one. Yeah, Sakuraba did the Forspoken music, and it's immediately, obviously better than the main game soundtrack.
I cannot believe it. It's like, we put Motoi Sakuraba on this. Our music is now infinitely fucking better.
It was stark, where I'm like, this is better. Maybe they improve, and then it's like, no, Sakuraba. And I'm like, dude, I always believed in you, bro. As soon as I saw that, I was like, chat, we can't let Bridget find this out.
I was like, I was stunned, and that stun locked me to see Motoi fucking Sakuraba in this stupid fucking game's credits. Jesus Christ.
And I'm like, that's how it's like they got the near composer for episode Gladio. I think they got Hama Uzu for Prompto, and then they got what's his name? Mitsuda for Ignis. And Lotus Juice for episode Arden.
They did.
They always get a guest composer for the stuff that they did when they were still alive. And
it is fascinating to see how much
interesting
DNA. It's just fascinating to see how much like DNA from 15's DLC is still in here.
It's like that's just what they do. Like you boot into it in that same title screen way. They change the title screen after you finish. They get a guest composer. And at times, it's the thriftiest thing you've ever played.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And other aspects that I cannot say. Let me check this shit again. We still got a hold out. We're not past it yet.
Oh damn.
It sucks so much that they couldn't get us a Forspoken multiplayer campaign so that Nobuo Uematsu could show up just like he did for Comrades.
I'd like to imagine in some way that was in the cards anywhere and it just immediately dissolved.
Fuck, man.
It's just rough. I mean, I wasn't upset or anything playing this DLC.
Neither was I until a little bit later.
Yeah, but like for the most part, it was just kind of nothing. I didn't like.
There's not enough to latch onto. You're going through corridors for most of it, to the degree that I thought that they were not going to give you an open thing at all. But you do get in like the back half/third. Due to all the interiors, the game runs better than it ever has been. There's so many sections where you're inside a building, so it runs at 60.
Awesome.
Appreciated that quite a bit.
You know what? I have one really nice thing to say about this game.
Go ahead.
The final area skybox was extremely fucking pretty.
Okay, we're out of time.
Okay, thank God.
All right. So the post-credit scene for this establishes that another country has 4 Tantas and created the main villain of this game, and they sequel hooked for a DLC while the studio is being destroyed.
The insanity, the absolute fucking brain-damaged insanity of leaving a post-credit sequel hook in when your studio is dissolved, the CEO that was caping for this game is gone, and the fucking game bombed, and you left it in.
You stupid motherfuckers! You stupid bastards! You could have bounced. You could have said, here it is. Well, we made that time loop. Well, our journey continues as we break the rest of this break. But no, you need to establish that you had a plan that makes you look incompetent. No one asked for this.
No one.
No one asked for this. Oh, I can't wait for the sequel where we learn about the secret origins of the villain that were happening in the background. The villain is stopped!
It's like this game already bombed, and then of the people who played this game, I would imagine significantly reduced number of people played this fucking DLC. I think besides us, I saw maybe one other fucking guy talk about it, even among people I knew who played the base game. And then
who at Luminous Productions jacks off to content that won't be resolved? Because they keep doing it.
I was about to say, this is just the fucking Bahamut shit again from 15. We're gonna find out about all this in, like, some terrible fucking book. And I'm not buying it this time.
Yeah, no one's buying the Forspoken book. Someone found out that, there's cut dialogue about snow areas. They basically cut the areas from the Project Athia trailer. And once again, a reminder that this game's a nightmare. It isn't fully confirmed, but it's very clearly this was the Project Witch tech demo folded out into a full game. My headcanon is when they said they were changing the pro tag, Tabata immediately bounced.
This was like very specifically like the thing that what the fuck was the previous CEO's name?
Matsuda? Or Wada?
Yeah, this was... No, Matsuda. That's
okay.
Yosuke Matsuda, yeah, that's it.
Oh, yeah.
Like this was his thing, right? He was the guy who was, like, really pushing for this to keep...
He moved his office to be closer to this game, and he did the same for Avengers. Every single thing... He has pet projects over there where he's gonna put his backing on something that he thinks can really come out and be big. And every time he's wrong.
Yeah.
So that's why he's no longer the CEO of the company.
Knowing that, like, how deeply tied he was to Forspoken and seeing how that turned out, when that news dropped of him being fired, essentially, I was like, yeah, I'm not stunned. I'm not shocked about that. That's what happens. It's just like, you could have just not had this, right? You literally could have just fucking credits ended there or anything. Like, because all that sequel hook, like, all that post-credit scene does is just tease a sequel that your fucking studio's dissolved.
All it did was make me angry. Like the more I thought about it, the more I'm just alone, high in my apartment, just yelling about fucking Forspoken to no one. Going, what are you fucking doing? Why can't you just go, this game sucked, it's done, we're gonna leave now. Why can't you be like Balan Wonderworld, huh? You came out,
God.
you were bad, and you left.
Yeah,
And went to prison.
Can we?
Like,
I don't know who I'd put him in prison for this one. Someone probably has to, but you know,
it's so frustrating. I hate when something is not going to be resolved, even if I don't give a shit about it. Because I'm like, this sucks. Yeah. There's no part of this that feels good, because there's someone out there, I know they're around, that like this, and I would like them to feel closure. They're never going to feel closure.
Yeah, no, I saw, like, it's not a ton of people, but I did see some people be pretty positive on the main game. I don't know if they played this fucking DLC or not, but it's like, even in that main game, like, things were still, like, a little unresolved, but, like, you know, you could like get any amount of closure out of this ending. This DLC completely fucks that up, and it's like Forspoken 2 is not happening. There's no way. We are not getting that shit. So it's just congratulations. No one wins. Literally, this is a all-lose scenario.
Yeah, I really hate that shit. And generally, they
too.
knew. They had the foresight to know. Because they knew that shit. Thank you, Kat, for rating it a great time like this. We're talking about Forspoken's DLC today. I cannot believe you see this game bomb and then have multiple months to react to it and not go, we could just cut this scene. We could like cut that out. And then I have nothing to complain about. I go, they put out a Forspoken DLC. It's like the game, so it isn't very good, but it has better music in it. So I guess I'll put it. I guess I can put it above what we got. But instead, they're like, let's show you our grand vision.
Leaving?
What a mess.
What a fucking mess. Again, they put this into a DLC that's not gonna be like. This is already something that only people like us who do content or people who are really deep in on Forspoken, like really like that game, will get. So it's just gonna be fucking bad for them in particular. That sucks. I really don't like that.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate. Where it's just they should have left it alone, but they did not. If you were scoring this, what would you give this piece of downloadable content? If you somehow remember what you scored the original game.
I scored Forspoken at like a 3. And
you were pretty low. I do remember that.
I was pretty low. God. There was like keep in mind that 3 was like primarily like because of the chapter that was like literally like an hour and a half of you like walking around like watching the story unfold, doing nothing while the story was being the backstory was being explained by faceless models.
Yeah, for like 90 minutes. Yeah, it was real rough.
This did not have like a section that was as just straight up terrible as that. There was no. Just because of that, I think like a 5 because there was no part of me that there's no part of me that like feels terrible about having like there was no part of me.
I thought you were gonna say feels anything.
Yeah, like I mean, basically, because it's like, I was never particularly mad playing this. I kind of just felt nothing. I was in like a nice hum, just like a numbing sensation.
Yeah, I was just chipping. I was chipping away at it. The only bit of joy I think I ever got was I saw James in chat, and then I said, "So you gonna do guides for RPG site for this?" Fucker entered the call immediately, going, "Dude, do you think my boss wants Forspoken guides?" For the DLC.
That shit would do negative hits somehow.
It's like, that's not the big RPG coming out. That's Street Fighter.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I guess 5, because I'm just like, I don't really got a strong opinion. Other than like the fucking post-credit scene was obviously a bad idea, but that.
Yeah.
Even I can't be petty enough to really deduct that many points for that, so just like 5.
Yeah, I can. I can just be really indignant about it.
Yeah.
Looking at it, I gave the original 5, where I was like, it doesn't hit the highs of 15 in any way at all. But,
no.
But the enemies have tells sometimes. Some aspects of the gameplay are okay, but a lot of them are unrefined or not as tight as I would want it, so it ends up being disappointing. I ended up giving it a 5. I ended up getting the DLC a 5.5 because the music is a little bit better. And I think some of the monster design stuff here was alright. It is still Forspoken.
It is still Forspoken. It's one that, like, I don't know how much you fucking, like, I just used, like, the default magic the whole time, because, like, the fucking combat didn't feel, like, good enough for me to really get in.
I was doing doing the sword stuff mostly, and then some big charge hits, and, I think, like, whatever the rock equivalent in that, which I think was silver.
So, yeah, it was.
Yeah, the pocket sand lives on in some way. Can you believe that we're doing a thing like this after a Final Fantasy VII Rebirth trailer?
I feel like the biggest form of edging right now. It's crazy, dude.
It's really unfortunate. I tried to cheat by looking at my Twitter feed while you were talking, and all I saw was a tweet from Carl showing Elena saying, "Get pregnant, get pregnant, get pregnant."
Awesome, dude. Awesome. Yeah, for anyone who might be watching this on YouTube and like isn't here on stream, we are doing this. We did this literally right after Summer Games Fest dropped the 7 Rebirth trailer.
And I was like, well, our worst fears and what probably described might happen has been realized. We had to transition off FF7 to this. I was not expecting that to close that show.
I wasn't, like, if it was, like, earlier in the show, I could have maybe lived. The fact that it is a direct transition from that to this is what's been so fucking, I'm dying a little inside.
It's okay. We've scored it. We've discussed it. There really isn't that much, because as we came to realize, I described the story to people. Then I said, let me think of story things that have me engaged, and I couldn't think of any. So I don't think we have anything left.
No. All I can say really is that I'm glad that, like, the luminous part of this bit is done. So now we just have to worry about whatever the fuck Tabata releases, which is something that I am far more interested in by comparison.
Yeah, until you see it move.
We'll worry about that when we get to it.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad that once again we've gotten in another spoiler cast with my friend Bridget. As you know, this is our third. We did Avatar 2. Forspoken and Forspoken's DLC. One of these days, I will give you the opportunity to be on a spoiler cast for a property anyone is interested in.
Can we please do FF16, please?
Oh, sure. We could probably slip something. We could slip in something that has, I don't know, any level of, reads the Airy Dictionary, Riz.
Yeah.
Riz. Alright, chat, that's gonna do it for this spoiler cast. I would like to thank you for listening to it. We managed to stretch it for about 28 minutes. There we go. We hit the 28-minute mark.
Yeah!
We did it. We're gonna go ahead and end the VOD now. Thank you.
Bye-bye.